If you can hear my voice, say yeah. If you can hear my voice, say yeah. If you can hear my voice, say yeah. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all are a good group to participate with. How y'all feeling tonight? Hey, y'all just gave me a yeah. I know y'all could do better than that. How y'all feeling tonight? Well, good evening, everyone. I am happy to be here with you tonight for Preservation Forward to celebrate Landmark, Illinois. Make some noise, y'all. Now, I know a lot of y'all are holding drinks in your hand, and so you had to make a decision right there. Do I put these last 3 or 4 sips down, or do I applaud? And by the sound of it, a lot of you made the decision that was best for you, and I understand. It's a Thursday night. We are dressed up in the old post office, and these lights are, if I can add, bright as hell. I know some of you were here with us last year or have been with us to celebrate over the last 20 plus years. Make some noise if this is not your first Preservation Forward. Okay. With every applause, I'm still wondering, engaging, how many of you have finished the drinks in your hands? Now make some noise if this is your first ever time at this event. All right, we got some new people in the building. So first, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Jacoby Cochran. I am a storyteller, which I know for many of you, you're thinking about your South or West Side grandmother, and storyteller just meant somebody who tells a lot of lies. No, I'm more of the professional storyteller. I host The Moth here and around the Chicagoland area. Okay, we got some Moth listeners, some WBEZ folks in here. If you are a WBEZ supporter, you may have heard me a couple of weeks on Reset with Sasha Ann Simons, trying to make sense of all of the stories in and around our city. I am also an educator, a professor of communications at DePaul University, okay? The City Colleges of Chicago, as well as Elgin Community College. Not Elgin representing the building harder than everybody else. My day job, though, is I am the host of CityCast Chicago, the #1 daily news podcast in the city. Now, I know some of you, even if you don't have a drink in your hand, you were hesitant to clap because you were wondering, what the hell is CityCast Chicago? Well, usually when I say I host the #1 daily news podcast, I get a few questions. The first being, what do you mean by daily? Well, that means Monday through Friday. For the last 4 years, we have covered stories all around this city, from butterfly sanctuaries in Pilsen to high schools that welcome immigrants with open arms in Rogers Park, from advocates who fight for grocery stores in North Lawndale to national monuments in Pullman. The next question I get is people ask, what is a podcast? I understand for a lot of people that is a scary word, and usually coming out of someone who presents as male, you are immediately cringing, thinking of all of the foolish things I am using that microphone to do. But I promise you, whether we are sitting down with the mayor or we are talking with my friend Bonnie about all of the efforts to preserve the history in our city and state, I am doing my best to represent the South Side of Chicago where I was born and raised. If you listen to any week, you can get a good sense of what we do. On Monday, we talked about the illustrious and begone history of Chicago's Stock Exchange, a building that now sits just a couple of blocks from us, but that was not its original. The original that opened in 1893, an Adler and Sullivan monument to how Chicago wanted to do things different. On Tuesday, we talked about CTA's new promise that some of its busiest lines are going to have buses every 10 minutes starting next week. Yeah, I know you don't believe them, and I'm a little skeptical my damn self. But I'm going to give them a chance. On Wednesday, we talked about how hard Chicago goes for St. Patrick's Day. Today, we talked about spring break, and tomorrow, we will celebrate episode 1,000 as we discuss Ernest Goes to D.C., a.k.a. Mayor Johnson Goes to Washington. And if you are not new, you know that last year I was happy to be your MC and host here for Landmark Illinois' Preservation Forward. I read an anonymous survey about my performance last year. 7 out of 10 guests said, you are in for one hell of a time tonight with Jacoby as your MC. For real, real survey. 2 out of 10 people said, wow, he is smooth, eloquent, and that kind of charming that gets annoying after a while. Prepare to suddenly feel the weight of this city and state's history of segregation, displacement, and erasure. And to that I say, fair. And then 1 out of 10 respondents said, I wonder what shoes he's gonna have on tonight. That last one I made up, I just wanted to show off my shoes. In fact, the last person said, I wonder what is the landmark status of, I quote, that tushy. To which I say, let's keep it professional. Tonight, we're gonna hear about some inspiring individuals and organizations doing the important work of preserving our city and state's history and preparing us to fight for our city and state's future. Our 2025 Landmark Illinois influencers are not just saving places in Illinois, but doing so in innovative, inspiring, and unique ways. And make sure you got your paddles ready a little bit later, because we're gonna be asking you to donate through our paddle raise, and at this time, when funding is so precarious across the city, state, and country, we need y'all to go into your pockets. You can make some noise for that. We're also going to be announcing our raffle winners throughout the night. But first, let me give a big thank you to tonight's Sustainability Circle sponsors who have donated $25,000 or more to tonight's fundraiser. Tonight's work is monumental for the work that Landmark Illinois does, and we want to shout out the Antonovich Associates. We want to shout out the International Union of Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, Tuck Pointers Industry Promotional Trust. We want to shout out to Wani Property Management and Tuck Pointing Contractors Associations. Make some noise, y'all. Now, before we run your pockets and we get to the after party, please join me in thanking and celebrating this organization's president, CEO, and a bee enthusiast. Y'all make some noise for President and CEO Bonnie McDonald.
Good evening, friends, our community. It is such a joy to be with you tonight. And thank you to Jacoby for getting us all riled up. And I want to continue that by giving you a very short speech, because we want to get to our influencers, which is who we are here for tonight. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to know we have new people in the crowd. So I'm pleased to welcome you tonight to Preservation Forward, this community of people who supports saving places with people. Places that are about their identity, their community, job creation. We can't thank you enough for helping us do that work. And if you're new to us, who's Landmarks Illinois? We are a statewide nonprofit organization that helps people save places for people. And that's why we're here tonight. So thank you all for your support. Landmarks Illinois has really dedicated itself over the last 5 years to having a transformational view of preservation so that it's inclusive, so that it's relevant, and it's effective as well. And that work continues, especially today. As we are facing a very challenging and chaotic time, as we are addressing the devolution of our federal preservation program, the job cuts for those who do this work, the exclusionary and unjust practices, and economic uncertainty and job insecurity that comes with it. That is the work of preservation. We are one solution for all of the things that I just mentioned. And the work we are so passionate about that you'll hear about tonight, it's really about reuse and reinvestment in communities. And it is one solution tonight. But we're going to hear about innovative people who are doing things in addition to this. And I'm so excited to talk to you about our influencers. But before I do, you might be saying, is the investment that I made tonight worth it in this organization? And I just want to tell you that where your investment goes is that Landmarks is a 54-year-old organization. And in that time, we have helped save 26,000 places across the state. I think Joe Antunovich has saved about 1,000 of them himself, maybe 10,000 of them. We also, by saving that 26,000 places, everybody, and just to give you a picture of what that is, if you look beyond us, it's dark now, but the downtown, imagine the Chicago downtown and those skyscrapers, and multiply that times almost 20, that's the number of places we've helped save. That's how big it is. And by doing that, we've diverted 11 million tons of debris from going into the waste stream. And for many, many people in this room who have done the hard work of working on these incredible places, we've helped to generate $16 billion of economic activity through our policy and advocacy work. So thank you for investing in this effective organization. You know, everybody, by influencing the outcomes of preservation, by helping people save places, we are creating jobs, as I just talked about. So I am excited to talk about the people in the room who do the handwork, the construction workers, the trades workers, the designers. Because, you know, folks, we would not be sitting in this gorgeous hall without their hands. And so we are pleased to honor Chicago Women in Trades, who is making a pipeline for young talent to enter these well-paying jobs. And we're excited to have you learn more about the work of the Chicago Women in Trades. They are here tonight, and you're going to hear more about their stories. By the way, let me share. I just shared how we're effective, but let me tell you how effective Chicago Women in Trades is as well. There was just a post today shared with me by our event chair, Tracy Dillard, that Juliana Stratton, our lieutenant governor, promoted the fact that there's been a 45% increase in women in the trades in the last 10 years. Thank you, Chicago Women in Trades. And everybody, these folks wouldn't have a job to work on but for the people who do the work of developing these places, of taking them on, and that is Chris Enck. You're going to learn in his whole adult life, he has been taking on the places that people forgot about. Places that give us this kind of community identity. We're excited to have you here. And then we're delighted to have our own celebrities in the room, Ethan and Elizabeth Finkelstein. They are here to talk about their work, making it possible for people to buy affordable houses, places that they can go into, they can live, they can rehabilitate, but is also revitalizing small and rural communities. They are dynamos, and we are excited to talk to them about cheap old houses. Our historic places are worth saving. That's why we're here today. They're part of this critical community sense of place and identity and job creation and economic development. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here to celebrate this community, to be a part of it, and to contribute to the amazing work. And before I go, I just want to say thank you also to those who make this event possible, for us to be here in community together when we all want to have something to celebrate. And that would include our event chair, Tracy Dillard, our ambassadors, all 21 of them who brought their networks in, all of you, our board of directors, thank you so much for your support, your leadership, leadership, and to our remarkable staff. I just want to say it takes a village to do this kind of work, and that would include our Director of Events, Alma Rabronia, our communications team, top-notch, Caitlin McAvoy, Lauren Dalton, and Kenna Hogan, our development assistant who brought all of you, made sure you had a bid paddle, everybody. Everybody wants a bid paddle. So thank you to them. And I'll close just by saying one embarrassing thing. Happy birthday, Sarah Van Domelen, one of our board members. From WJE. Okay, on to the main event, everybody. We are ready to see an inspirational, incredible video about our 2025 influencers. Please join me and turn your attention to the Jumbotron. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
People want to be stewards of something that they feel is going to outlast them because it's worth their time to put in. And so I think for all those reasons, you know, cheap old houses, I think, fulfill so many dreams for so many people. We are Ethan and Elizabeth Finkelstein, also known as Mr. and Mrs. Cheap Old Houses. We are the founder of Cheap Old Houses on Instagram and Facebook. cheapoldhouses.com, where we find houses all over the country for under $100,000. We are also the hosts of HGTV's Who's Afraid of a Cheap Old House and the authors of Cheap Old Houses, an unconventional guide to loving and restoring a forgotten home, which is our book.
We wanted to match make these little houses with people, and we never thought that we would amass over 3 million followers on Instagram and Facebook and have an HGTV show and actually change people's lives by having them purchase these houses off of this Instagram page.
We are right now in probably one of our favorite cheap old houses, owned by Randy and Dave, who found this house, Duncan Manor, on our site. Many people tried before them, and they saw it, they fell in love with it, and they took a leap of faith.
Dave and I were looking for something. We didn't know what, not this. And, and I found that website. And they had, at that point, they had a list that was Kiss Me, I'm a Fixer-Upper. Because of what they've done, they're allowing all of us to really see these houses and old buildings and recognize that there's potential in them. And so it's just, you know, very grateful to them and all that they do.
It's been amazing to have a voice in a field that we feel so incredibly strongly about. People say, how did you get into this? And we always say, this is literally the only thing we could do. I just feel like this was our calling to do, and we feel really fortunate to be in it.
Every project's different and exciting and fun, and getting out of an office and seeing things in person has always been something I'm interested in. You know, I always liked visiting abandoned places and seeing those things as a kid and imagining like what they could be. And I feel like doing this as an adult, it's, you know, doing this in the real world is kind of like the same sort of thing, but just figuring out how you like actually make it happen is kind of the exciting part. I'm Chris Enck, and I'm a preservationist. I think the projects that I've been involved with, and the goal has always been to kind of do them at a small scale and show that, you know, there can be the opportunity to make it work without an unlimited budget.
Chris is a person that not only has his passion as architecture and his profession, but he is a person that is a hobbyist preservationist. He takes a look at how can we be sustainable in our preservation efforts by not tearing down a house, by saving the house, being creative on how it could be moved on a site, be rearranged in a different way where another home is being able to be built. That's something that takes a lot of critical thinking and creativity.
The Orpheum Theater, it had been a vaudeville theater built in 1914, modeled on the Opera House at Versailles, so really ornate interior. It became a movie theater later, and it was threatened with demolition, and the opportunity came up to work with people locally to help with the project to convert it into more of a community and event venue. And so it required a lot of creativity as far as, you know, thinking about salvaged materials in some cases and thinking about how you can use the spaces without making any major changes and get the most impact without using having a huge budget.
I think having people with different experiences and different ways of looking at something create more possibility for solution and progress. I'm Jane Valinga. I'm the Executive Director of Chicago Women in Trades. So Chicago Women in Trades was founded by tradeswomen in 1981 to improve women's economic equity by increasing their participation in skilled blue-collar occupations like the construction trades. So our founders were tradeswomen, first carpenters, and then they were joined by women from other trades. And initially they got together to advocate for themselves, to create more opportunities for themselves and bring other women into the trades after them. So we've always pursued basically two complementary strategies. Working on the supply side by improving the pipeline for women to enter and succeed in the trades through our welding program and other programs designed to prepare and support women in construction and manufacturing careers. And at the same time, we are advocating for policies and practices that support women's careers and providing technical assistance to the industry to help them improve their capacity to recruit and retain women in their workforce. Our goal is for any woman who wants to build a career in this industry to have that opportunity, not only to enter, but to retain. But we've got a long way to go.
I say this all the time. I wish someone had told me about the trade sooner. It's rewarding, it's empowering, and I know that's like the typical thing to say, but every day I wake up, I feel stronger, knowing that, you know, I've contributed to this building. It's like a badge of honor that you wear, knowing that you contribute to making that building last for years to come, even after you're dead and gone, you know?
Come on, y'all, make some more noise for our 2025 Landmark Illinois Influencers. I was standing in the audience, I was walking to the side, and then they called Jane's name, and they started screaming. I got caught off guard. I was like, oh, she brought the whole family today. Come on, y'all make some noise. Hey, if there are three things I love, one, a good mock-up picture. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for some mock-ups. You tell me there's gonna be some green space somewhere and you put those fake little human beings in the picture, you got me. Two, a damn good documentary style video. Can y'all make some noise for Chris Pagnozzi of Lone Ghost Media? Come on, y'all, make some noise. And then three, I appreciate the passion that each and every one of our influencers spoke with in the video and the people who they work with and have supported. I have hosted a lot of these events. And by the look around the room, I imagine a lot of you have attended events like this. Am I right? And let's be honest, after a while, the organizations can blend together, the checks can blend together, but I need you to be reminded and be present tonight that the people who this organization works with, the influencers who we are celebrating tonight, it is their life's work to do preservation, to be archivists, to help people find their future homes, to help communities have historical spaces be restored, to see that women, femmes, non-men find a place in the trades, a space that they have long been held out of. And so let us not let the drinks, the revelry, and the applause of the night make us forget or grow numb to what nights like this can be. Not only for us in the room who support with our time, our checkbooks, our money, but the people who we are recognizing tonight who do this great work. Tonight's custom awards were created by Firebird Community Arts and inspired by the work and impact of each influencer. I know you can't see them, but I had some time to look at each and every one, and they are beautiful. Hopefully, the influencers will let you maybe take a picture with it or hold it Don't give it to just anybody, though, because they might drop it, you know? You got to have some discretion. You got to have, if somebody's stumbling up to you like, oh, I would love to see your award, just give them a little, right? Just a little Derrick Henry. Just relax. See with your eyes, not with your hands, as my mother would say. I also want to give a thank you to the artistic director, Pearl Dick, and the artists at Firebird for once again working with Landmark Illinois to create these awards. Make some noise, y'all. Now, please join me in welcoming to the stage our first 2025 influencer. Make some noise for Elizabeth and Ethan Finkelstein, AKA Mr. and Mrs. Cheap Old Houses.
Thank you so much. Jacoby, you are a very tough act to follow, but I will do my best. The term influencer carries with it such a sort of aura of glamour and mystery, which makes us very unlikely people to be accepting this award tonight, because everything we've done in the world of cheap old houses is in an attempt to make preservation accessible to everybody. So whether or not you know the big words or the terminology or know what a turret is versus a tower, if you walk into an old house and you feel that magic, that's enough of a gateway drug for us. And we share this award with all the thousands of people around the country, many of whom are in Illinois, restoring these cheap old houses. I want to call out Randy and Dave Howell, who were in the video shown of us, who have taken on the most incredible cheap old house that was on Illinois' most endangered list for many years before they took it on. Our colleague, Christiana Pena, who is our better half of our organization, who we would not be here without tonight, who purchased her own cheap old church for $99,000 for she and her partner, Nick, to live in. And these are the people that remind us every day that preservation is not just regulations and policies and laws, but preservation is everyday people, every day making millions of little decisions in the best interest of their homes, considering their own budget and knowledge, and really trying their hardest. And these are everyday people, and these are the everyday houses, not the VIP houses, not the house that George Washington slept in, but the everyday homes that make up the fabric of our country, the pink bathrooms, the kitchens that remind you of your great aunt's kitchen, and those are worth preserving too. We're so honored to be here. Old house people are the best. Landmarks Illinois, you are doing the Lord's work, and we couldn't be happier to be honored tonight. Thank you.
Y'all, can we make some more noise for Elizabeth and Ethan Finkelstein? Now let's welcome to the stage Chris Enck.
I wasn't sure if there'd be a ticking clock up here like the Oscars to count me down, but I'll keep it brief. Thanks to Landmarks Illinois for this recognition, but also for all the assistance and support over the years. A lot of these projects wouldn't have been possible without all the support and connections with Landmarks Illinois. When Bonnie first called about this, I warned her that I'm more of a stage crew person. I'm better behind the scenes than up on the stage. But I'm really excited to be here. I think it's really interesting that it was exactly 10 years ago, almost to the day, that the Irving House moved for the second time. And I had to look it up last night, but it was March 5th, on 2015. So it's even exciting to be here to celebrate that milestone that it still exists today. I first got involved with that project probably because I didn't really know much better, and also because I'm sort of a glutton for punishment, it seems. But also I think there's always a way to come up with a creative solution to save a place if you can get everyone on board with an idea. Of course, sometimes it doesn't always go that way. With the demolition of the Burnham House in Champaign, Illinois, that was hugely disappointing. And I'm sure everyone in this room has probably had a project like that over the years. And it takes a while to get over that sort of preservation hangover after those kind of projects. But after a while, initially I thought maybe I'm done with preservation and I didn't want to take on these kind of projects anymore. But after a while, I came back around and decided that I wanted to get involved again. I think it took a couple of weeks, but I realized that I don't really have many other interests, it seems. So here I am, and I also enjoy the kind of the challenge of putting together the puzzle pieces to make a challenging project come together. And I think preservation is all about threats, different kinds of threats to buildings, threats to communities, threats to the few policy tools that we have to work with. But I think that with an optimistic approach and creativity and sometimes unconventional solutions, we can all continue to work together to save places that are important to us. I know I'll be there, the first to volunteer when a challenging project comes up, and I look forward to the next challenges ahead. So, thank you.
I love when people come to the mic and they say, public speaking is not really my thing. And then they get like 6 or 7 jokes off with bigger laughs than I got all night. And I'm like, oh, you just up there trying to be modest. Y'all make some more noise for Chris. Next up, we are happy to bring our nonprofit honoree to the stage tonight, Chicago Women in Trades. Represented by Executive Director Jane Valinga. Make some noise, y'all.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Chicago Women in Trades, you could come up, Joplin. This is our board president here. Joplin, Allen, everybody. So on behalf of Chicago Women in Trades, I just want to say what an honor it is to receive this recognition from Landmarks, Illinois, especially given the threats that diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and Chicago Women in Trades as an organization are currently facing. One of the first acts of the new administration was the revocation of Executive Order 11246, the regulation that required federal contractors to make good faith efforts toward a diverse workforce, including a goal of 4 women at 6.9%. Our founding director, Lauren Sugarman, here reminds me that one of our first worksite equity projects was the new post office. And that is a project that would not have been possible without Executive Order 11246. 2 days later, we received communication from 5 federal grant programs that our grants were under review and if found to be in conflict with the new anti-DEI executive orders would be canceled. That the federal government is taking such pains to erase decades of progress in leveling the playing field for women in the trades who still make up less than 5% of the construction workforce is alarming and disheartening, and I want to use my remaining 30 seconds to flex my influencer muscle here. In truth, the real power to change the culture of the construction industry resides not with the federal government, but right here in this room. If you are an owner, a developer, a contractor, or a union that believes that a person's potential should not be limited by their race and gender and understands what a more diverse workforce brings to the table, we need you to act with intention to recruit and retain women. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are not illegal or immoral. They are the values we need to create a just society where all Americans can thrive. If even half of you embrace this vision of the future, we can have more impact than any government regulation on the lives of Chicago tradeswomen. Thank you so much. And Chicago Women in Trades, we have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of resources, and I hope that you will connect with us soon. Thank you very much.
Again, can we make some noise for everyone at Chicago Women in Trades? I think each of our honorees, the president of this organization, and so many of you in the conversations you had before and during this event know what it means to support organizations like these. And so now is the time for you to show that support and raise your paddle to donate to Landmark Illinois and to support the work to help keep this work moving forward. Landmark Illinois cannot do it without you, and we cannot do this portion without tonight's host, Chris Hensley. Y'all make some noise for Chris, y'all.
Jacoby Cochran. All right. How we all feeling out there tonight? No. It is Thursday, which means it is Friday Eve, all right? How are we feeling out there tonight, Illinois? All right, y'all over here are the east side of this room, all right? Y'all are the west side of this room, all right? We're going to have a little competition throughout the night tonight, okay? We're going to see which side raises a little bit more money for this organization, okay? Folks, again, my name is Chris Hensley. It is an honor. Don't leave the room. Don't leave the room. The doors are locked anyway. You can't go anywhere. All right. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure for me to be here with you tonight to help raise some critical funds for this incredible organization. I like to say that we have reached the heart and soul of our time together. But I also have to say, I can't tell you the number of hours I have spent laying on my couch late at night surfing cheap old houses. Y'all have taken 50, 60, 100 hours of my life, but the work that you are doing is incredible. And every time I see a house anywhere near here, I'm like, I could buy that. I could restore that, but I never have. All right, so folks, we're here tonight to share in a celebration of this mission, all right? We're at this mission that so richly imprints on people's lives. Place has a special and unique meaning for each of us. Just as music serves as the soundtrack of our lives, place is quite literally the movie set of our lives, all right? Just as a song can take you back to a special moment, that first dance at your wedding, that first kiss, that long reflective walk in the snow, place literally transports us across time. Now, I grew up in Bloomington, so I know Duncan Manor. It's on my way in and out of town. But when I have the privilege to go back to Bloomington frequently, and when I do, I stop at Luca Grill for a Baldacci pizza. I go to the Castle Theater to see a concert where my dad took me to see Rambo 43 years ago, right? I stop at the Coffee Hound for a cappuccino so that I can remember my friend Steve, who started that small local chain out of a love for coffee beans and community connection. And although he is gone, his legacy, community connection, remains. All right? And so as many of us do when I go back home, I drive around and I see those places that defined me, right? Whether they're still there or not. And each of us has those personal movie set places that tell the story of our life. And I want you to think about those movie set places in your life as we're going through these next 10 minutes. Your story, your personal movie set is as unique as your thumbprint or as unique as although it was 50 degrees today, the snow that will be falling here in Chicago tomorrow night, all right? It is unique, right? Each of our stories. So the work of the preservation movement is in protecting these places, not just for the sake of the structure, but importantly for the people who find meaning, who find connection and belonging because of those places. It's this work that grounds us. It's what gives us a sense of place, our sense of past, our sense of present, and our sense of promise. All right? And so whether you are from Murfreesboro or Moline or Morton Grove, from Cairo or Canton or here in Chicago, from Brooklyn or Bloomington or Belvedere or anywhere else in between, the work done by Landmarks Illinois has impacted your life and the lives of millions of other people in meaningful ways. And it's because of this innovative approach to people-centered preservation that Landmarks has truly become the leading voice on preservation nationally. You should be proud of that. You each have made that happen. And the power is literally in your hands tonight to continue that impact, all right? So we come here together in this historic Beaux Arts Grand Hall as a community. Engineers, shout it out, engineers, architects, developers and designers, craftspeople and community members, realtors, tax attorneys, artists, advocates, academics, a community that drives this vital work forward with generous spirit. Now, while I'm going to ask you each to raise your paddle over the next 10 minutes, what I'm really asking you to do, Joe, is invest in, just seeing if you're paying attention, brother. I'm asking you to invest in that promise. As much as the shovel that breaks ground on a construction project, your paddle tonight is a powerful tool in this work. So I ask each of you to consider a personally significant gift over these next 10 minutes. And if you are a guest of somebody here tonight, I ask you to honor your host by raising your paddle loud and proud for Landmarks Illinois. Now, my friends, we have not had the opportunity to exercise our rotator cuffs yet, so we're going to do that now. If you could make sure that you have your paddle in your hand, I would greatly appreciate that. Go ahead, left hand or right hand, it does not matter. Now, if you were here, we heard you by your cheers earlier. If you were here last year, put your paddle in the air and wave it around like it's on fire. If you were here last year. All right, a few of you on the west side. Oh, a lot of you on the east side. Look at you all. Looking good over there. All right, Westies, you got some work to do. Now, if this is your first time at Preservation Forward, let's see your paddles in the air. This is called paddle practice. Let those rotator cuffs warm up a little bit, all right? Thank you for coming out for the first time. It is critical to the legacy of this organization that you come back next year and keep coming back year after year, all right? Now, if you're from Chicago, let's see your paddles in the air. Yeah, a few of you. If you are my peeps from Central Illinois, let's see your paddles in the air. Yeah, all right, 2 of you, 5 of you. Okay, very good. Now, where's Tracy? Tracy Dillard. Where are you, Tracy Dillard? Tracy Dillard, let's let you lead the way to represent Southern Illinois here. Can you put those paddles in the air? Southern Illinoisans. I know I've got a couple right back here as well. Yes, from my favorite 17th Street Bar and Grill. All right, now, my friends, the Preservation Forward paddle raise record is $132,000, all right? Now, there are about 700 of us in this room. That means that if we each raise about $185 on average, we could just do it the hard way, right, and go home. But We're going to not do this the hard way. We're going to start up in the stratosphere. We're going to work our way all the way through. And I was told to start at $5,000, but before I do that, I just need to know. I have to ask, is there a superhero or a champion in this room here tonight who will raise their paddle at something bigger than $5,000? Now, 272, my dear, what are we going to do? Tell me how much.
My husband and I will do 10,000.
$10,000 right there. Jackie, thank you so much. Board chair extraordinaire. Very, very well done. Now, who else can raise their paddle at $10,000? Anything more than $5,000? Here's 701. Thank you so much over here. Tell me how much you would like to do.
On behalf of Rashad Johnson, who is the president and CEO of Ardmore Roderick, and we're civil engineers, I'll give you $10,000.
There's a second $10,000. There we go. All right, now, this is the point of the night where I get a little bit greedy. Can I get a third $10,000 bid paddle in the air, or anything bigger than $5,000? Anybody at all want to join these two incredible women with a gift of greater than $5,000? Anybody? 477 right here. Thank you so much, 477. Tell me, please, in this incredible leather dress, what you would like to do.
On behalf of my mother, Sandra Rand, North American Concessions will be donating $7,000.
$7,000. And your mother is looking great tonight. We talked about exchanging outfits earlier. All right. So 7,000, 10,000, and 10,000. Can I get one more before I get on script? Anybody else at a number bigger than $5,000 here in this incredible room on this fantastic Thursday night? Anybody at all? Last opportunity to put that paddle in the air and be that superhero, that champion for Landmarks, Illinois. Anybody? Anybody? Thank you so much. Let's give some love to those three incredible donors. All right. Now, we're moving on to $5,000. And before you put your paddles in the air, let me just talk a little bit about some of the work that Landmarks Illinois does. Landmarks Illinois is about long-term commitment. They see things through. An example is our efforts in Carbondale to support the community in its work to preserve Bucky Fuller's Dome home. And this is an incredible home. Landmarks began their long-term relationship on this project all the way back in 2004 with its listing on the most endangered historic places list. And over the years, Landmark has been there through it all with grant funds and ultimately by recognizing this rehabilitation property with the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award in 2015. Landmarks is in it for the long haul and in this project and in so many others. And will you be in it for the long haul with them with a gift right here, right now, tonight at $5,000. 478, thank you, at $5,000. Folks, make some noise. Who else at $5,000 across this room? Anybody else? Raise your paddle right here and stand with this organization tonight at $5,000. Can I get one more at $5,000? Anybody at all at $5,000 in this room? Anybody? Last opportunity. Thank you so much. Let's say thank you to our $5,000 donor over there, 478. Thank you. All right, now we're at $2,500, and we have the opportunity to support ignored and underinvested small downtowns. So many small communities have lived through decades of stagnation and decline, even though these places have important and adaptable historic resources in their downtowns. Communities like Lewiston, Canton, Greenup, Mattoon, and countless others across the state are developing plans to leverage their historic resources for community growth and development. Landmarks works with mayors, with city managers, economic development organizations, nonprofits, and a host of other stakeholders to identify paths forward for community revitalization. Through in-person presentations in these communities and conferences and endless Zoom meetings, Landmarks works to provide local stakeholders technical assistance and advocacy strategies to help their communities flourish. Once again, please support this work now with a gift of $2,500. Put those paddles in the air at 25. Here we go. 135, thank you so much, at $2,500. 100, thank you, my friend, at $2,500. Anybody else? 227, thank you, at $2,500. Love it. Who else? 475. We're going to move you up front next year at $2,500. Thank you. Anybody else? At $2,500 right here in this grand hall in the heart of Chicago to stand with Landmarks, Illinois. Anybody at all at $2,500? Let's show some love for our $2,500 donors. Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, $1,000. This, my friends, this is where the cavalry typically arrives and a sea of paddles goes up in the air. Use that tool to make an impact for underrepresented communities. After decades of disinvestment, preservation advocates in communities like Brooklyn are working to reclaim and celebrate their rich cultural heritage. Brooklyn, Illinois, was formed by former slaves and abolitionists and is the first majority black town in America to be incorporated. This history, though, was largely ignored until local advocates, led by the Historical Society of Brooklyn, began working to tell their important story. Landmarks took the unprecedented step of placing the entire village of Brooklyn on the 2023 Most Endangered Historic Places list, and since that time, Landmarks has worked to bring statewide and national organizations and resources to the community. This is just one example of the incredible work Landmarks is doing each and every day across our state. Let me see some paddles in the air at $1,000. Here we go. 707, thank you, at $1,000. 196 at $1,000. That's right, you can make some noise. 112 at $1,000. Thank you, Gary. 350 at $1,000. 194 at $1,000. 459 at $1,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else? Let's get some more paddles in the air. Make some noise, folks. 777 at $1,000. Bonnie has her hand up. They wouldn't give her a paddle, but she's given $1,000. Thank you, Bonnie. 431 at $1,000. 783 at $1,000. 389 at $1,000. 162 at $1,000. Thank you. 559 at $1,000. 230, thank you, at $1,000. 129 at $1,000. 569 at $1,000. 239 at $1,000. 329 at $1,000 as well. Who else at $1,000 in this room? I see you over there, 198. 198 at $1,000. Who else at $1,000 here in this incredible room? Cheap Old Houses is in for $1,000. Were you not trusted with a bid paddle? Yeah. Cheap Old Houses for $1,000. Elizabeth and Ethan, thank you so much for your generosity. Look, folks, they were honored here tonight and they gave $1,000. Can we see them? Can we match them with a few more gifts at $1,000? We're at $74,000. We are on our way, but we have work to do to get to that 132, all right? Now, we may not make it, but that is okay. We are doing our work here tonight. Anybody else with a gift of $1,000? Anybody at all? All right, say thank you to Cheap Old Houses and all of our $1,000 donors here tonight. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I have 3 levels to go. 3 levels to go. And then a surprise, so keep your paddles handy. At $500, Landmarks Illinois offers multiple grant programs that provide monetary assistance to help preserve or protect significant structures and sites across the state. As an example, here in Chicago, Landmarks has awarded $20,000 through the Timuel D. Black Jr. Grant Fund for Chicago's South Side to aid restoration efforts at beautiful Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Inglewood and to the former Reformation Lutheran Church Church in Roseland, all right? There are so many needs that go unfunded, but with your support of $500, we can provide even more grants to projects in need. Let's go, West Side, with your paddles at $500. 751 at $500. 220 at $500. 534 at $500. Yes, 568, thank you, at $500. 777, that's the second time you've raised your paddle. Thank you, at $500. Who else over here? 502 at $500. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Easties, let's go. 527 at $500. 195, thank you, at $500. 236 at $500. 522 at $500. 175 at $500 as well. Who else at $500? Yes, way in the back. 646 at $500. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else at $500 in this room here tonight? Anybody at all? Let's say thank you to our $500 donors. Great job. Now, this is where I take a little bit of a risk, all right? I want to have a little bit of fun with you. $250. We're going to celebrate the uniqueness of Illinois here for a moment. Now, I have traveled to all 102 counties in Illinois. Most people don't even know there are 102 counties. I've been to all of them, all right? It's a long story. Come and ask me later if you want to know why, okay? Now, in Illinois, we name our cities after a lot of other places, right? We've got a Vienna, we've got a El Dorado, we've got a San Jose, we've got a Des Plaines. Except, we make them unique to us. And this is how people make place their place, all right? So Vienna in Illinois isn't Vienna, it's Vienna. El Dorado isn't El Dorado, it's El Dorado, all right? Orion isn't Orion, it's Orion, okay? Des Plaines, we all know, is Des Plaines, right? We make Versailles, Versailles, Marseille, Marseilles. We make these things our own. Lewiston or Lewistown, who knows which one it really is? I think the mayor uses both terms, actually. So, you know, Illinois is a great place, and so if you love the richness of Illinois, Landmarks Illinois is helping to protect that richness, that history, that herstory. Let's put our paddles in the air right here, right now, at $250 for Illinois. 494, that is, at $250. 330 at $250. 313 at $250. Who else over here at $250? I'll be back. All right, here we go. 377 at $250. 199 at $250. Thank you. 768 at $250. 200 at $250. 586 at $250 as well. 749. That suit rocks, by the way. I'll trade you my jacket for that suit, all right? Looking good. I think we're both about 40 regulars also. I think it would probably work, okay? All right, thank you so much. 586 at $250. Where are you, Westies? Where are my Westies? 678 at $250. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else at $250? Put your hands together for our $250 donors. We're at $83,000. All right, our final paddle raise level. If you haven't raised your paddle yet tonight, this is your moment to do it. Every gift counts. Every gift counts. If this is your first time giving, make a gift here tonight to introduce yourself to this movement. Landmarks Illinois and their small but mighty team will welcome you in as family. We're at $100. It's our last opportunity. Let's see some paddles at $100. 284 at $100. Thank you. 213. Thank you. 665 at $100. 673 at $100. 746 at $100. Folks, make some noise. 453 at $100. 629 at $100. 781 at $100. 201 at $100. 665 at $100. 666 at $100. All right. 691 at $100, 535 at $100, 738 at $100, 447 at $100, 497, thank you, at $100 as well. Let's go, Westies, Easties, 779 at $100, 115 Hector, thank you so much at $100, 743, thank you at $100. Here we go, it's time for hand-to-hand combat. 140 at $100, 495 at $100, 533, looking good over here at $100. Thank you. 112 at $100, 396 at $100, 402 at $100, 645 at $100. Make some noise. 270 at $100, 670 Diana at $100, 730 at $100, 142 at $100, 299 at $100, and 500 at $100 as well. Hoorah, folks! Make some noise. Show some love for all of our donors during our paddle raise here tonight. You have helped us raise over $86,000 in 10 minutes time. Congratulations, bravo. Now, I asked you to hold on to those paddles. Let's turn the music off for a second. We can bring it back up in just a minute. All right, I have one more thing. We have these volunteers around the room. Wave for me, volunteers. They're wearing these cool, brightly colored scarves. Thank you all for being here tonight around the room. They are going to move their way through the room here over the next minute and a half. And they are going to take your paddle from you. Only give them your paddle if you want to make one final gift. And if you've already given, you can give again. If you're here as part of a couple, you can both put in, because this one comes with something in exchange, right? So you heard Bonnie talk about the 26,000 places that Landmarks Illinois has protected and preserved for future generations. So at $126, if you drop your paddles with our volunteers, we will charge you that $126. All the paddles, go ahead, volunteers, start collecting them. Paddles are going to come up here to the stage. You're going to have about a 1 in 50, 1 in 60 chance of winning, and here's what you're going to get. Look at it on the Jumbotron. A taste of Southern Illinois for two. Raise your paddles if you want to give them to our volunteers. Raise them up, $126. Right now, I think you have about a 1 in 2 chance of winning this, all right? 1 in 3. Okay, keep them coming, all right? Taste of Southern Illinois for two. A 3-day adventure. On day 1, you'll enjoy some of the best barbecue in the country at 17th Street Barbecue in Murfreesboro, and they are here with us tonight as well. Amy, thank you so much for being here. Murfreesboro, folks. 17th Street Bar and Grill, best barbecue. And then that evening, you'll check into the historic Havisham House in Alto Pass. To start day 2, you'll have breakfast at Fay, lunch at Montgomery's Place in Carterville, and dinner at the Havisham House Bourbon Bar before retiring to your room for a second night. Finally, day 3 includes breakfast at the Iron Whisk in Cobden. We'll throw in a $150 gift card in gas to get you there and back to enjoy an incredible weekend. $126, and again, I think you have about a 1 in 4 chance of winning this at this point. Let's call it maybe a 1 in 20. 650, let's grab that paddle back there. Somebody grab 650 over here. Grab that paddle. Let's start, volunteers, making our way to the stage with all the paddles. We're going to drop them all right here on the stage. Tracy Dillard, you want to come up and draw the winner with me? Come on up here, Tracy. Tracy had no idea I was going to ask her to do this, but she's a good sport, so come on up. All right, Tracy Dillard, folks, she is the chair of this event tonight. Tracy, thank you so much for all that you do for Landmarks Illinois. We are literally going to drop these right here. I'm going to mix them up. All right. Very good, very good. Now, come on, folks. Yeah, here we go. One more. And see, that's strategy right there. That is strategy. I've had them folded. I've had them burned. I've had them wet. But this might win right there. Okay. All right, we're going to drop that in there. Anybody else for $126 for this Illinois staycation? Southern Illinois charm, Southern Illinois foodie experience. All right, I'm going to mix them up, and then I'm going to have you draw one of them. You want to hold my mic for a minute? Thank you.
740 is the winner.
Now, 740, I hope you remember that your paddle number was 740. If your paddle number is 740, come up and see me on stage. We have you as our winner of our Southern Illinois experience. Tracy, thank you so much again for your leadership. Now, we have our raffle winners for the night as well. The envelope, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Who's in on the raffle? Yeah, a few of you. Okay. Who's in on the raffle over here? Lots of you. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. All right. So we've got 5 incredible raffle winners. The first is the RPM Sommelier Dinner, and our winner of the RPM Dinner for 4 at RPM Seafood is Steve Munsilla, M-U-N-C-I-A, Steve Munsilla. Steve, congratulations. All right. Package number 2, it is the Ultimate Chicago Women's Sports Package, and that goes to Joy Yvette Ivy. Joy Yvette Ivy, right here in front. Yeah, looking great in orange, by the way. Yeah, popping. All right, number 3, Uptown Theater Private Tour. The winner here is Erica Block. Erica Block. Bravo, looking good over there, sparkling it up. All right. The Cheap Old Houses Essentials. This one sounds, I want to win this one. All right. Eileen LaPierre. Eileen LaPierre. You're our winner of the Cheap Old Houses Essentials package. And our final package, it is 3 concerts are better than 1. And I would agree, the winner is Devin Rand. Devin Rand, you're our winner of that package. All right, my friends, thank you so much for your generous support here tonight. Jacoby, come on up and take us home. I think there's a party waiting for us.
Can we please make some more noise, y'all, for Chris and everybody who donated tonight? Seriously, I am so glad they do not ask me to do that. I feel like to ask people for that much money, you gotta have the confidence of a white man with a good head of hair. Like, oh my God. Seriously, I would have been up here singing the lyrics to Ludacris and Nate Dogg's area codes. Like 916-704, I got pros in different area codes. Somebody gonna listen to that song tonight and be like, hold on, Jacoby, he got one over on us. Y'all, can we please make some more noise and show love to Landmarks, Illinois? This individual came up to me earlier, and she was like, baby, you are doing good, but you keep saying Landmarks. She said we wouldn't be a good organization if we only saved one place. It's Landmarks. And I was like, that's what we do on the South Side. We put S's on things that don't have them, like jewels, and we take S's off of things that do. It's Trader Joe. What's up, Joe? I just thought of that, and I'm glad it worked, because I was worried. I was worried. I want to thank everybody in here for your energy, your passion, for your donations tonight. If you decide later tonight you still want to make a donation, Landmarks, Illinois will take your money. So please follow the link sent to your phone. You can easily make a gift online. I know that many of you are eager for our after party. Some of y'all have been sitting out there. Y'all didn't even bring y'all asses inside. Y'all said, I want to be close to the shrimp when it comes out. I've had 2 smoked shrimp already. It's very good, so you were right. After dinner, remember to check out the after party upstairs on the 2nd floor for more entertainment and dessert. The bars are going to open back up shortly, and they're going to have food in the Grand Hall. Now I'm going to thank and ask all of the past and current Landmark, Illinois influencer, Landmarks, plural, to the stage for a group photo. And for all of our other guests, thank you for making time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And when you're on your way home, send me a text to let me know that you made it safely. Again, my name is Jacoby Cochran at City Cast Chicago. Hopefully, a lot of you will tune in tomorrow morning. I appreciate you. Have a good night.